Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing today? Alex, are you here? Alex, you're always here. You better be here. Let me pull up this workout and let's dive right into the fitness. We'll put it right there. Perfect. Oh, unless you guys want to do CrossFit right now, I think I have the wrong thing up. We won't do that. We'll do our Olympic lifting. All right. Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. I'm glad you guys joined me for today's Olympic lifting accessory. For today, we have 3 movements. Two of them we've done before that are going to help us produce power and be explosive and still be moving quickly with the barbell in our hands. So even though our bodies won't be as strong as they were when it came to lifting heavy weight, you might not be able to lift as much weight for as much reps as we did in the past. We can still maintain a lot of that ability to just get our muscles to fire and jump high, put a lot of power into the barbell, and still lift a good amount of weight. So that's what today's focus is going to be. You don't need a lot of weight. You don't really need much weight at all. We can still get away with a lot of things if you just have a backpack or whatever to still receive a lot of benefits from today's programming. So first thing we have is 4 sets, 4 overhead squats with an 8-second descent. 8 seconds is a long time. You can use whatever you want. If you only have like one kind of heavyish object, you can do a single arm overhead squat and then just do 2 one side, 2 the other side. You could do a broom if you want and just really focus on positioning, because for a lot of us, overhead squats are just challenging no matter what, because it's hard to get that bar back as we still go down that squat. A lot of people, when they come down, they start to do this and the arms starts to come forward. So if you are someone that struggles with even just holding an empty bar over your head and squatting with it, a broomstick would be perfect for today, because if you really try to put yourself in the right position, it'll still be very challenging and you'll still get sweaty from it. I promise you that. I'll probably do the first set of them with just a broomstick. And if you want to try the first one with a broomstick, you can as well, to really see what I'm saying. And it won't be, I'll probably do that for all 4 sets now I think about it, because it'll probably be still just as challenging. We'll talk about it when we get to it. So first, that's the very first one. 4 sets of 4 overhead squats to 8-second descent. Number 2 is 4 sets, 5 hang high pulls, focusing on bringing that bar to the knee, pulling fast, high and outside, getting that scarecrow position. And then the last piece, 5 rounds, 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off of explosive push-ups, focusing on how hard we can press ourselves off the floor and trying to get a little bit of air time. We'll break down all the movements once we get to them. I have some extra credit as well if you're interested in doing that after the programming. But we're going to go right into our warm-up, which is also going to focus on some dynamic stretching during it. So we're going to move and stretch at the same time. So for our warm-up, we're doing 4 rounds, 10 prone presses. You don't need any weight. Doing these without weight. It's kind of like our reverse snow angel, but a little bit different. 10 bird dogs. We haven't done those in a while. We'll show you those in a second. And then 1 minute of a dynamic stretch, changing it up every single time. So let's talk about it. There's a lot going on right now. That's why I have the garage door closed. My fiance's playing my dogs outside. There's a car alarm going on. So hopefully in a little bit, it'll quiet down and I can open up the door again. So I know some people like hearing the birds chirping in the morning. All right. Luckily, it's not too dark, so you can still kind of see me. So let's get into this warm-up and then go over piece number 1. So first, 10 prone presses, 10 bird dogs, and then 1 minute dynamic stretch. For the prone presses, let me turn this light. There we go. For the prone presses, you're going to lay flat on the floor. Keep your nose right next to the floor. Pull your arms as far from the floor as you can, and then you press up overhead, and then come back down. Let me pull the camera a little bit lower so you guys can see me do it on the floor. Trying to get my nasty broken up concrete floor in there. All right, so can you see me? I'm like in the shadows. So from here, nose stays right next to the floor. Pull the elbows as far away from the floor as you can. Press up to full lockout. Come back in. Squeeze your elbows toward your sides. Give me 10 reps here. All right, from here for a bird dog, you're gonna get into a tabletop position. From here, I'm gonna touch my hand to my knee and then extend my opposite knee and my other arm. So my left arm is extended, right leg's extended. I come back in, tap right in the next one, but I'm keeping my core tight. I'm trying not to arch like this. I want to keep everything, boom, and locked out, and my core is engaged, my back is staying neutral. Whoa, big burst of light. So let's do 5 one side, 5 the other side. It's kind of like a dead bug reverse. Then switch. All right, for our first set of dynamic stretches, oh, you can see me better here. Over there, it's like a dungeon. First set of dynamic stretches, feet flat on the floor. Bring your knees to the floor while still kind of keep your chest pointed forward. So I'm not going to let myself twist this way as I do it. I want to keep myself immobile from my waist up. I'm just going back and forth here. Got a couple good hip pops in there. I saw starting, I think, Monday, maybe Tuesday, supposed to get back up into the 90s where I'm at. So right now I'm brown. By the middle of next week, I'll be black. Gonna be laying out in the pool. It's funny, it's like 80 degrees, the water's freezing. 90, it's like hot enough outside, the water is nice inside. It's like it's still just cold. I don't really heat the water that much, but it's much nicer to enjoy. All right, that's one round. Round two, back to the prone presses. Again, nose stays right next to the floor. Squeeze the elbows in, lock out the arms overhead, come back in, squeeze the arms in. I love these, especially whenever we have to hold a weight over our heads, because it really warms up your back and puts your shoulders in a good position to hold a barbell overhead. Your shoulders, it's, from my understanding, from all the studying I've done, your shoulders don't really determine like your overhead mobility. It's how strong and where you place your shoulder blades. So for example, let me finish this last rep. So for example, your shoulders are telescopic. They move around a lot. They can roll forward. There's a lot of motion in them. But if you have really poor upper back posture and you do this and you have a weak upper back, then all of a sudden it's hard for you to squeeze your shoulder blades down and actually keep them activated, especially when you're trying to put a weight over your head. So if this is your normal position and you struggle to maintain this, no wonder you struggle with getting your arm over your head. So it's not necessarily your shoulder per se. There's things that attach to your shoulders, muscles that are part of your back that attach to your humerus, the bone here. And if those get weak, it's hard to pull it in the right spot. So having a strong upper back, which these prone presses are doing, they're really hard to maintain that shoulder blade position. They're going to help make your shoulder position better, which in return will help your overhead stuff. So a lot of times people think I got to stretch out my shoulders in order to get my arms back. That can be the case, but from my experience, it's more so strengthening the upper back. So quick pro tip for the day. All right, next stretch, cat cows. I've just been liking these a lot lately because I'd say like almost every class, be mindful of your posture, make sure you stretch. But it's like, even myself, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'll catch myself on the couch like slouching, and I'll notice my back's in a bad position. And like the next day when I go to work out, I'll notice my lower back's a little tight. So I like this one a lot just to help open up and decompress the spine. You can even add some twists in there. So like when you're in this cat position, you can twist to one side, twist the other side. When you're in the cow, twist to one side, twist the other side. It's not an aggressive twist. I'm not trying to really twist hard. Just a little extra range of motion in my spine. Give me a few more seconds. All right, round three, you guys. Back to prone presses. I think I'm gonna open the door in a second so you guys should be able to see me better. 10 presses. Bird dogs. Again, you're keeping your core tight as you do the bird dogs. You want to make a literal straight line from my hand through my spine down to my foot as I keep my core engaged. I'm actively thinking about squeezing my rib cage in and squeezing in my belly button. If you don't, then you're literally getting nothing from this exercise. The exercise is just like the dead bug, where it's teaching you to keep your spine neutral by engaging your core as you move your limbs. I mentioned it sometime earlier this week, where it's like we tend to not use our core a lot. And we just kind of, just move our body over, and our back takes a lot of that load. And then when I go to pick something off the floor, something heavy, and I try to move, a heavy box or pick up a couch, because I don't brace my midline and because your back will brace. Your back will naturally brace when you go to try to heave something up. But if I don't engage my core as well and maintain that natural lumbar position, that's when people hurt themselves. It's because either A, they have a weak core, or they don't turn their core on. Usually because they don't turn their core on. A lot of people have strong cores. We use our core for a lot of activities, but if you don't actively turn on and get in the routine of that, that's when problems happen. So a lot of times people my fiance makes fun of me all the time. So I go, and I make that sound if I pick something up, put it in the car, I pick up the dog or whatever. And she's like, why are you struggling to breathe when you pick up this, 20-pound object? I'm like, I'm not struggling. I just subconsciously gotten to that point where I go, and I kind of brace in, so that way I make sure my back's staying neutral. I think it's because of the fact that back in the day, I hurt my back when I was in high school. I literally couldn't even deadlift more than an empty bar without being in pain. So I'm very conscious of my spine, and I'll make sure I help people protect their spine, because having back injuries sucks. All right, next one. King squats. If you did programming yesterday, you did these yesterday. They were so much fun. I love these. So a minute of these, pushing the butt back, loading up those hamstrings, stretching them out at the same time, and then dropping down to a squat, opening up those hips, come back to that bent over position, come back to standing. So we'll do 12 total in the course of a minute. So hold position for at least a second. Move slow during these. It's not a quick movement. I really want you to kind of open up in the squat and that bent over position. My neighbor next door that I've been wanting to move for the longest time, because he's a bunch of just junk all over his driveway. They're always making a lot of noise late at night, and they're so crazy. There's a moving truck in their driveway right now. So, oh my gosh, I hope they get out of here soon. So if you hear music playing, that's them. That's their moving music. I'm so excited. I'm gonna do one more, and then I'll open this door because it's freaking hot in here, and then we'll do our last round. All right. All right, guys. Oh, whoa, so much light. Jeez. Can't even see now. You couldn't see because it was so dark. Now you can't see because it's so bright. Last round of prone presses. Boom. Bam. Bird dogs. The only thing I'm curious about, can't talk too loud now. The only thing I'm curious about is if actually might all be moving, maybe just one person inside the house is moving, because it's not that big of a U-Haul truck, but they have 2 kids, and a buddy that lives there and stuff. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe just the buddy's moving, but hopefully all move. All right, last stretch, guys. So here, hand on back of the head, elbow to elbow, twist the elbow up as high as you can. You're really thinking about moving through your upper back. So it's not just me just moving my arm like this. My arm is attached to my body. That's why we put it on our head. And then we're twisting our back to get up as high as you can. I don't know if you heard that. It's got a little pop in there. It's perfect. I'm not saying you have to pop in order to have a good stretch from this, but shows that it helps open up your back a little bit if you are someone that's really tight like myself. All right, go ahead and switch hands. All right, relax. So we're gonna move kind of quick today because that warm-up definitely took longer than I anticipated it would. So we are currently, yeah, we're already 17 minutes into class. Class is already third way done. We haven't even started the first thing. I think some people call it stacking the shoulders. Boom, exactly. It's kind of like stacking your whole arm itself. So you stack your elbow, you stack your shoulder. Very important when it comes to anything where you have to hold a weight with your either overhead or inverted. So this first movement, guys, we're going to use just a broomstick. If you have an empty barbell, if you have a dumbbell, you want to do single arm overhead squats, they're tricky, but if you want to do that, you can. I'm just going to do a broomstick to show you that you don't really need any weight or anything to still get a lot out of it. And I really, like, the biggest thing out of this is I want you to stick to that 8-second tempo to the best of your ability. If anything, if you're like, counting kind of fast, count to 10, count to 12. Give me at least 8 seconds. Don't cheat yourself and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that was 1. I want to see you guys really. I wish I could see you guys. I want you guys to take up that whole 8 seconds. 8 Mississippi seconds. I'll be counting out loud, so that way you can go off my count. But if you're going off your own count, make sure you are not doing a fast tempo. Do you to each arm? If you're doing single, do 2 each arm. Good question, Dom. All right, I'm grabbing my broomstick, guys, and we're hitting the very first piece. We're gonna only take like a minute of rest in between. Again, that took a little bit longer than I wanted. I was blabbering around too much. Boom. Cool. This is a newer broom I bought recently to help the floor looks dirty on my garage gym. I bought that simple green. I got this brush and I was scrubbing the floor and trying to clean it up, and it looked good for like 10 seconds, and then it didn't look so good after that. All right, once it dried out. So for this broomstick, I'm gonna push my arms up and back, getting that weight above my head. That's where the position starts from. The second thing is once I start squatting down, obviously my chest comes forward slightly when I squat. I don't squat like this and shove my knees forward and get off my heels. I let my chest drop forward slightly. But I can't keep that weight still over my head from here, because if I do that, then that bar's way out in front of me, I'm gonna miss the weight. So it starts over my head, but once I squat down, I start bringing that bar behind my head, and then I keep that weight stacked over my foot, then I come back up to full extension. All right, guys, we are getting right into it. We're gonna do 4 reps, 8 seconds going down each time. Stick to that tempo the best you can. If it's getting too hard, ditch the weight. Just put your hands over your head, do the same thing, and try to get those arms back. I'm going to show you guys with the broomstick. It can still be just as challenging, okay? I'm going to start a timer just so we can have that minute rest time frame. All right. Go ahead and get your item. Place it overhead. Set number 1, you guys. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Reset. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. And last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Boom. So that one wasn't too bad for my legs, but I don't struggle with overhead squats that much, but I definitely felt it on upper body, especially my low to mid back, really trying to fight to keep that upright position in that overhead squat. Typically in a squat, we teach you guys to not push your butt back like this and then squat down. It's okay to have a little bit of that in the overhead squat if that allows you to stay more upright, because your back can take a lot more load than your shoulder can. Your shoulder cannot hold a weight like this. Your shoulder's gonna very quickly drop that weight or do something funky, whereas your back can hold a lot more weight with just a little bit of extension. So this, boop, 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 just a tiny little bit of extension added is okay, as long as it's not like you're doing some crazy break your back, super advanced torque 5,000 dance move. Don't do that. No torque 5,000s. Save that for when quarantine's over, okay? All right, we're going again about 10 seconds, guys. Broomstick, just as challenging. Otherwise, you can ditch weight entirely, have your arms over your head. You still go slow and still straighten those arms back as much as you can. You're still going to feel it. All right, get set with your weight. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Rest. Ooh. I feel it in my hips a little bit. I'm starting to feel my quads a tiny bit. That slow tempo. We're pretty much spending what? 8 times 4 is 32, right? Because 16 plus, 32. You're spending 32 seconds in a squat. Imagine like a 32-second goblet squat hold. This is kind of what that is, but you're just getting your arms a little more involved. So it can still be very taxing on the legs. If you are someone like right now, you're feeling the burn, that's fine. That's a perfect thing that can happen. And if you feel in your shoulders, you feel in your upper back, that's awesome as well because it means you're really fighting for that good position. It means you're probably restricting this area, but doing this is going to build up that strength to make this a much more natural position, to make you more confident in an overhead squat. The biggest reason why I see people fail snatches is because they don't trust themselves getting under the bar because they're afraid they're going to drop the bar on themselves. People do this. They go, and they quickly bail. They didn't give themselves time to brace underneath because they don't feel like they have a strong bottom position in that squat. Whereas if you see someone that can overhead squat a lot more weight than they can snatch, they're a lot more confident underneath that bar because they know they have the strength and the ability to get underneath that weight, hold that weight. So if you want to have a heavier squat snatch, probably one of the biggest tips. I mean, there's many tips that can be beneficial, but one of the biggest tips for me that helped me a lot was just getting a stronger overhead squat and spending more time in the bottom overhead squat. Adding a tempo, adding a pause at the bottom of that squat makes a huge difference. All right, Hudson, stop blabbering. You're slowing us down today. All right, get up your weight overhead. Let's do this. I'm just giving you guys all my knowledge today. All right, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. And go. Oh, I meant wrong one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand and relax. One more set, you guys. Whew. If you aren't already doing Roger's barbell classes on the weekdays, I recommend you do. He's breaking things down. He's like teaching everyone how to snatch over again, and you guys are gonna be snatching amazing and cleaning amazing and doing overhead jerks amazing once you guys get back in the gym because he's like taking everyone back to the fundamentals and making sure everyone moves well. All right. So for this next, what was the next movement? Oh, the hang high pulls. For this next one, I would use some kind of weight. You can use a backpack. You can use a single dumbbell, single kettlebell. I'll show you some variations I'm going to do. You can still use a broomstick as well because today's whole goal is just about being explosive in speed, okay? We'll go over in just 1 second. Grab your weight. Last set, guys. I'm going to pause in the middle. I realize, Dom, you're doing the dumbbell. I'm going to pause after the second rep for a little bit so you have time to readjust your hands. Sorry, I left you hanging there. All right. Ready, set, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and stand. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Switch arms. You're doing single arm movement. All right. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Boom. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand. Boom. You are now an overhead squat master. Great job. You killed it. I almost broke my light. have these like fluorescent bulbs above me, but they don't turn on. It's like something with electrical's wrong. That's been like us. We moved into the house. We need to have an electrician eventually come by and hopefully fix some stuff in here. But this garage is a lost cause. This corner looks nice because I painted it and, you know, spruced it up, but everything else looks like a train wreck behind you guys. So this garage needs a lot of work. Anyways, for our second piece, we're doing 4 sets of 5 hang high pulls, I believe. Yep, 4 sets, 5 hang high pulls. I'm actually gonna keep my weight and show you how you can do it if you're using just your broomstick. All right, so I got my heavy barbell. I want you guys to keep a snatch grip if you are using some kind of barbell type movement. So that bar's resting in the crease of the hips. You're wrapping those thumbs around, so thumb first, fingers on top, thumb first, fingers on top. From here, the whole goal is speed. People that want to get better at jumping and being powerful, they do more jumping. They sometimes add weight, but you don't need a lot of weight to build explosive power. If someone wanted to get bigger vertical, they could do that just by using their own body weight and jumping more and more and more. Weights are a great tool, but it's not necessary. Same concept with today. If you want to get a stronger pull, weights are definitely very beneficial, but we can still focus on just producing that kind of power and working on our central nervous system to tell our muscles to fire as quick as they can with just an object to kind of get that same movement pattern down. So what I mean by that is, you're going to go to the hang position. You're going to pull that bar into your hips. You're going to pop up. You're going to pull the elbows high and outside and fully extend your ankles, your knees, your hips, and pull that the bar up as high as you can get it. And then reset. So it'll look like this. Boom. Boom. I'm trying to think, how quickly can I get from here to here while still keeping that bar close to my body? The faster you go, the more your body's going to recruit that muscle fiber to turn on and activate, and the more explosive you can become. If you have 2 dumbbells, we'll do it like we've done before in the past, where you're just gonna have 2 of your dumbbells and your palms facing inwards, like as if you're doing like kind of like a clean grip. You're not gonna go outside. You can have them stacked on top. You're gonna go to the knees. You're gonna pop and pull, and then come right back down. Okay, so I'm still keeping it close to the body. I'm still getting my elbows high outside. I'm still trying to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So if you have that, you can do that. If you only have 1 item, you want to use 1 item, I would do 3 each side, so you're gonna equal up to 6. But come to the hang. Boom. Hang. Boom. Okay. I'm just going to use a broomstick. I'm just going to see how fast I can possibly be. We're going to make sure that we're keeping that object close to our body, no matter what. I don't care what you're using, how heavy it is, how light it is. Do not let that weight get away from you. Pull it into your body. These dumbbells away. All right. So if you're only using 1 item, you're doing 6 total, 3 each side. Otherwise, we're just doing 5. We're gonna do a quick reset in the middle. If you wanna go at your own pace, that's okay, but make sure you reset in between each rep. So don't do this. You just go through the motion and get them done. I wanna see how fast you can go from the hang. Boom, whoa. I went so fast, I like shifted on the ground without even moving my knees. So I wanna see how quick you can go from here to here, reset, boom, boom, okay? I'm so fast, you probably can't even see me on the freaking camera. I don't know. I'm just like speed lightning with this broomstick. I can probably snatch a broomstick like a million times. All right, so let's do this. Whatever object you want to use, it's cool with me. However slow you want to go, in the sense of resetting for the next rep, it's cool with me. Keep it close, be explosive, don't rush them. All right, don't rush in between them. That's kind of like contradicting what I'm saying. Fast reps, take your time in between each rep. Don't just get them all 5 done as quick as possible. All right, I'm gonna set another timer just so we have that 1 minute rest in the middle still. All right, guys, when you're ready, first set. Hang and pull. Hang. Boom. I feel my calves. The biggest thing I'm feeling right now is my calves. I feel myself extending and trying to pop off the floor almost. I'm not leaving the floor. I'm not actually getting to jump off the floor, but I do feel myself kind of really focusing on getting that last little umph with my legs. So it's not here, it's here. As tall as I can make myself, elbows are really high over my weight. I don't bring my weight over my elbows, and you'll be working on your explosive power, guys. Like I said, you can jump higher by just using your own body weight and focusing on explosive power. We can still focus on explosive power with a 2-pound weight if we focus on really recruiting our muscles and getting our brain to tell our muscles to go as fast, go fast. We're gonna rest about 20 more seconds. Ooh, look at that. How many times can I spin it? Once. All right. Get ready. Second set. At your own pace, take your time between each rep, but make each rep fast and keep it close. I'm gonna get a good angle for you guys. If you want to watch me first, you can watch me first if you want a better example with the broomstick. And that's it. One thing I see a lot of people exaggerate is overextending their hips. So they do this. They go, and they think about leaning back and they're like pushing the hips forward so the bar's going out this way. It's okay to have your chest like fall back a little bit, but thinking of doing that in your extension, actually trying to like lean back like this, notice when I do that, it pushes my hips out in front of me. So it tends to not only pull the bar up, but out. That's why the bar kind of rainbows out for a lot of people. I'm trying to think of pulling up and back as high as I can. And then naturally, when I go to actually turn the bar, I'll come behind the bar and then drop my head through. It doesn't need to be an excessive whipping of the head. You might see like some really high up weightlifters do that, but that's not what they've been taught. They don't practice their hang high pulls like this. They don't go in their high pulls and think about doing this. They think about just pulling up, because the only thing that they're concerned with is that bar as high as they can. Their goal is not to do this, because if I'm doing this, then my body has to come all the way back around to this position. But if I come here, it's easier for me to drop my head right underneath the bar. So if you snatch or clean, a little bit of leaning back is okay, but you don't want it to be excessive, especially not on this high pull exercise. You want to be as up and down as much as you can. You don't want that bar to go any other direction other than straight up. All right, second set. I'm talking so much today. I need to stop talking so much. All right, to the knees and pop. My calves are feeling it. My calves are getting stronger today. What time is it? 9:35 already. Okay, we only have one more exercise. The last exercise is only going to take us 5 minutes, so we should be good. Okay, no more spinning. Luckily I hit the metal frame and not the bullet. The light switch is literally right here. So like without me even extending my arm, I can touch it. I keep lucking out and not breaking it. This is why I can't have nice things. All right, we're gonna wait like 20 seconds. Last one. If you guys are interested, if you guys like looking online to buy barbells, one tip that I gave Alex, if Alex were here, sup Alex? The one tip I gave her was let's say a barbell, like a full-on 35, 40 pound barbell is pretty big, takes a lot of space. It's hard to maneuver around and around your garage and house and stuff. You can always buy a training bar as well. Training bars are really cool because they're only 15 pounds. You can load up to like 45 pounds on them. So you could still put a lot of weight on them. And you can still do a lot of movements, still practice your snatches, your cleans, your thrusters, all that kind of stuff. And obviously change the weights on them if you buy multiple weights. But that way it takes a lot less space. It could probably be like this big versus a barbell is like, I have a barbell right here. A barbell is legit like 2.5 feet longer than this. So if you want something that's more versatile and not as expensive, especially for right now, and it's probably more available. So 3 benefits to it, because a lot of people probably aren't buying training bars, they're probably buying full-on barbells. Great option would be a training bar. All right, stop talking, Hudson. Oh my goodness. All right, last set, guys. Be powerful, reset in between each rep. Boom. Woo. Once you finish up, guys, weights can go away. We only did 3, Dom? I think we did 4. Are you sure there's only 3, Dom? I'm pretty sure that was 4 now. Took about a minute and a half rest in between each one. Okay, perfect, we did 4. That's what I thought. All right, so now we're gonna take it to the floor, you guys. We're gonna do 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off of explosive push-ups. So for these, everyone's going to the floor. Everyone's gonna be on their knees for these. You don't have to do a traditional push-up on your feet. From here, try to find a spot on my floor. It's not broken and concaved in. From here, I'm going to come down nice and controlled, explode up, down, right into the next one. So as soon as my chest touches the floor, I try to go right back up and get as high as I can every time. You're trying to think like you're trying to get your butt towards your heels. So I'm trying to think of coming and doing this to where I land in this position. Also, that's how explosive I'm trying to become. So I'm not gonna actually do that though. I'm gonna keep my hips open the entire time. Get as high as I can. You should only take about 5 or 6 reps in that 15-second time frame, maybe more. But every single rep, boom, push that floor away from you as fast as you can to really get your chest and your shoulders on fire. Okay, so try a couple out before we get started. Let me know if you have any questions on them. We're gonna start in a few seconds. 15 seconds on, 45 off. Try to get that floor away from you. Imagine the floor is like, you know that, what's a good example? The floor is like, you know, what's what, McDonald's burger, but you want a full-on, like, you know, steakhouse burger. So you say, get away from me, McDonald's. I don't want you, I want steakhouse, okay? I don't want McDonald's, I want Burger Lounge. For those of you that don't have Burger Lounge, you're on the East Coast, I don't want McDonald's, I want Shake Shack. I think Shake Shack's East Coast thing, right? They had it in Boston when I was there, so it has to be the East Coast thing. Or what else is there? I don't want McDonald's, I don't know, something tastier. All right. I just really want McDonald's is what I'm trying to get at. So, but I'm trying to push it away. I'm trying to have self-discipline. Let's do this. Start going 15 seconds. As many hard push-ups as you can do. 45 seconds of rest. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Whew. I think I did like a total of 8 or 9 reps there. 45 seconds is gonna be really short of a rest for how much power you're trying to put into the floor. So if you're not getting as high as the sets go on, that's okay. Just try to keep, just give it everything you have. Just give it 100%. Try to keep as close to that height you were getting as before. We're going to 15 seconds, guys. I need to grab a mat for my knee or something. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, and 1. Oh. All right. What time is it? 9:41. Once we finish these 5 minutes, you guys, I'll show you guys extra credit if you're interested in doing that. I'll show you guys some stretches you can do if you want to, if anything's feeling tight, and you give some TLC. Otherwise, if you want to join me for CrossFit, we'll start CrossFit in a little bit. I would do the warm-up for CrossFit. You're probably pretty warm, but I'll just make sure all the right movements, all the right muscle groups are actually turned on and ready to go for what CrossFit has today. So if not, just stretch. Otherwise, do the warm-up for the next class. 2, 1, and go. Three, two, one. Oh man. Two more, guys. How you doing? You doing good? You hanging in there? Good. I'm glad to hear it. So after this, 2 more minutes. We'll go over extra credit if you want to hit it. We'll go over stretches if you don't plan on doing the CrossFit class. I recommend doing those stretches. Otherwise, if you're just going to do the CrossFit classes of this, I wouldn't do the extra credit or the stretches. Go grab some water, chill for a second, and then I want you to do the warm-up in the next class. Normally in the gym, we have you skip the warm-up. You do one class first, so you don't have to do the warm-up for the second class. Not today. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, 1. One more set, guys. I'll tell you really quick what's in CrossFit if you haven't seen it and you are curious. What's in that CrossFit class? It's a 12-minute EMOM, 30-second arch hold, followed by 10 Cossack squats in that same minute. Minute 2 is max clusters, and then minute 3 is rest. So it's not a very long workout. It's a pretty short workout, but it should be a sweaty one. I'm excited. So you want something quick and fast for today's workout to get sweaty with. That today's workout for CrossFit would be a good one. 10 seconds, guys. Last set. 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. 5, 3, 2, 1, time. Oh yeah. Ooh, my shoulders and chest are feeling it. My stomach's kind of feeling it too. I had my cup of water today, and then I also had my cup of coffee. I think I had more coffee and less water than usual. I think that's why I've been talking so much today. I'm definitely more wired than I typically am. I upped my coffee, and I didn't drink as much water as I should have. All right, extra credit. So I would grab 2 books. I'm using 2 5-pound plates. That should be plenty of weight, and I wouldn't really go much heavier than that. So 2 heavy-sized books, dictionaries, yearbooks, whatever you have available. But you can do 3 sets? I'll look in a second. But you can do 16 front and lateral shoulder raises. So starting with the shoulders, kind of rolled forward just a tiny bit. I'm not having my chest super open. Just bringing my palms facing towards my hands or towards my thighs. I'm going to raise up, come back down controlled, go out, come back down controlled. It's 2, 3, 4. So you can even do these seated to make sure you don't sway. If you do have a heavier weight and you realize you're kind of doing this, you're kind of heaving the weight. If you can do them seated as well in order to prevent you from adding any momentum to the movement. So same thing, you just have your hands to your side now instead of on your thighs. Come up, come down slow, come to the side, come down slow. If you have a really lightweight, if you only have some 1-pound books and it's not that challenging for you, you can just add a slower tempo on the way down. Boom, come down nice and slow. I don't want you to go as high as you can. I just want you to go to parallel every time. That's all you need to get those muscles fully turned on. And the biggest thing also is you're not letting yourself do anything funky where it's if you feel any kind of rubbing, weird things going on, don't do it. It's a different movement we've done typically, and if your shoulders aren't ready for them, you kind of feel some kind of rubbing or clicking, just shorten that range of motion even more and just go, boom, just cut down a little bit below parallel, and then add that slower tempo, and it'll still make it challenging. Okie dokie. So let me see how many sets it was. I think it was 3 sets. No, 4 sets of those. 16 total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so it'll be 8 forward, 8 to the sides. Let me show you guys some stretches, and then that's it for barbell for today, or Olympic lifting. All right, so first stretch, I would get our glutes. We didn't do too much glutes today, but I just want everyone stretching out their hips and or their glutes every day because of what we're doing, sitting a lot. I say it every class. You guys know how it goes. So I've been loving the one leg over the other, grabbing that knee and that foot and pulling it as close as I can. You could do pigeon stretch if you'd like. You could do cross shin fold if you like. Whichever one you feel it in your glutes that is most comfortable for you and that you can be most passive in. I don't want you to do a stretch. Like I hate doing pigeon because it's really uncomfortable for me and I can't get like comfortable in the position. Or if I do this, I feel a stretch, but it's a lot more passive of a stretch. And I can do it while I'm on my phone or watching TV, and it's not that like problematic for me. The next thing I would do is I would do frog stretch. So drive those knees out. Just bring your hips as close to the floor as you can. I feel a stretch inside my hips, a little bit wider if I need to. If I want to, I can push my butt back a little bit towards my heels to get even deeper stretch. But don't force yourself too soon to the stretch. Start really mild and easy. About a minute or so with both of these stretches, a minute or two with the first stretch and this stretch. After that, I would do thread the needle to kind of stretch out our rear delts after all that barbell movement we did overhead. So arm underneath, lay on top. Just because to get this position where the weight's up and back, shoulders really have to work, especially our rear delts, so I'll make sure those are loosened up a little bit. And then lastly, I would get your calves sums because we do all that extension, that fast extension of the high pulls, and you did a lot of squatting, a lot of slow tempo squatting. So calves did some work today. I would just find an elevated lip if you have something like this, like something like your coffee table might have. Maybe you have some kind of stool that has like a little leg on it like this. Bring your heel towards the floor, ball your foot on top, and try to bring that leg as far forward as you can. Otherwise, you can do down dog stretch as well, where you have your hands up or your hands on the floor, head through, and then bring your heels down to the floor as low as you can. So glutes, inside of your thighs, back of your shoulders, and calves. Something to time those bad boys, about a minute or two each stretch. Otherwise, if you're doing a CrossFit class, go grab some water, chill out for a minute, and then we will get nice and fit in just a short little minute. We have, 10 minutes till CrossFit class starts? 10 minutes. All right. I'm going to head out, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Olympic lifting. That was fun. I enjoyed it today. I talked a lot. I hope I didn't annoy you guys all my talking and all my hoopla. But either I will see you guys in the next class or have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Monday at 8 a.m. for CrossFit. Take care. Drink water. Take naps. Go for a walk. Whatever else you want to do that makes you happy. Later, guys.